So guys, before we get started, don't forget we do have that amazing discount code thanks to Tier 0 Games going on right now. And all you have to do is put in ZW Games 5 to get 5% discount on your total order at tier0games.com. The links will be in the description below.
What's up YouTube, this is Joe from Z4 Games and I'm bringing to you guys a competitive variant for malefics. What do I mean by competitive? I mean if I was going to go to a locals or anything higher, like literally any tournament based that's not just for fun, and I wanted to take malefics, this is the kind of build that I would play. Is it generic? Yes. Is it probably incorporating something that you've seen lots of times already? Yes. But does it work? Absolutely. This is probably the best thing that malefics can do in terms of a competitive aspect, while still maintaining the aspects of malefics that everyone likes to enjoy. What's that aspect? To me personally, from playing malefics for many years, the aspect of malefics that everyone enjoys is just some big giant boss monsters that look cool, that work cool, that play cool, and just hitting your opponents for massive damage. The cool things that the new card Paradigm Dragon gives you an extra form of negation that you can use in your combos to make established balls, to just bring up negates that if you are forced to go forwards, which in standard malefics, the fun variant of malefics, is the biggest weakness, that they can't really go first. They don't have anything really to go first. I mean, Paradigm gives you one negate, but cool, it's a negate that just prevents destruction. Cool, that's just not good enough for that at the moment. If this was made during the day that malefics were made, cool, yeah, that would probably have been enough. But now it's not. You need multiple negates. You need 2+ more negates. And the engine that I've incorporated in the deck works in the deck. The standard malefics cards can make that engine work. Literally, it's a 1-2 card. It's a 2-card combo that malefics can do pure, that can make the negates happen, and you'll see that at the end. Yes, this is a deck profile combo video, so you guys can enjoy if you didn't tell by the title. So I'm going to run through the deck, explain the card choice, explain why we're playing the cards. Again, you've probably seen it all before, but you probably heard it all before, but I do need to inform that why I'm choosing these, why I'm playing these in the competitive aspect of malefics. So before I get into all that, if you enjoy this, give us a like and subscribe down below and ding that notification bell so you guys don't miss out on any future content, because obviously if you're enjoying a channel, you don't want to miss its videos, and that notification bell helps prevent that, and all of that is greatly appreciated, and we thank you guys all so much for doing so. So before that's done, let's dive into competitive malefics. So start off with the brand new boss. The newest boss monster is Malefic Paradigm Dragon. Really strong card, really good card for malefics. Just like literally everything you needed in forms of a main deck boss monster. You can special summon it by banishing any malefic synchro from your extra deck. So basically Paradox Dragon, which obviously this is what the more sinner version is, because Paradox is already a sin monster. So you banish your Paradox Dragon to special summon this card. And also you can shuffle back one level 8 synchro from your banish zone and then special summon one level 8 synchro from your extra deck. So basically the gimmick is you reshuffle back, you put back one of your banished Stardust Dragons, and then you summon out said Stardust Dragon as a form of negation. It's only destruction negation, but it's a form of negation nonetheless, while also still maintaining a 4k boss monster on your board. First turn, if you open up the 3-card combo, which I'll also show you at the end of the video, it's just basically an extender using Paradigm Dragon. You can also get out you can get 3 negates plus a boss monster. Pretty good. To go forth, we got your standard lineup of 3 Cyber End and 3 Stardust. The next best boss monsters of the deck. This is what you've always been playing as 3 odds if you've been playing malefics at any point in time of the initial release. This is what you've always played. We're playing 3 Paradox gear. This is part of your combo. You use this, you then special summon your parallel gear, which you play 2 of, and then you get added malefic to your hand, which is going to be any malefic essentially, but you're mostly just going to be adding your Star Strike, which you'll see at the end of the combo. I do play 2 more malefic targets to your malefic Truth Dragon. This is one target that you can send to the deck with your Paradigm Dragon to start your combo with him. Just because he can resummon himself from the graveyard as a form of an additional boss monster. And I've always liked to play Malefic Rainbow Dragon just because we're not playing the Rainbow Dragon in the deck, but if you were, this is like the third or fourth best Malefic, just because you can banish the Rainbow from hand, because so Rainbow is not as much as a brick as like say Blue Eyes or Red Eyes, but we can just summon him with your Paradox Gear, because Paradox Gear can replace itself for any banished target. But other than that, I just really like it. It's just my fun spicy tech in the deck. It's just my fun Malefic choice tech in the deck. I just really love the artwork, and Rainbow is just really cool. And it's just another 4K beater. That's it for the Malefics. Moving on to the engine to round up the monsters. Yes, we are playing, the engine, because the engine's just too good. Like, Paradox Gear with the field spell, Malefic Territory, is literally a Omni Negate combo on his own. So we play it. Like if your one monster if your one archetypal monster in the deck facilitates a 2 Omni Negate combo, and you want to take it to locals or any tournament and do well with the deck, play that Omni Negate combo. Is it boring to see? Yeah, it probably is getting now boring to see. But it just works. It's just an engine that everyone can play. It's an engine that everyone can use. So play it. Like, I just sound like a broken record. I really just sound like I'm just forcing something down your guys' throat. And I do really apologize for that, so don't take it the wrong way. But don't use something just because it's used by a lot of people. Like, if that's your only reason to not play a combo, find another reason. Because it just works. You want to make your deck better, and this engine can make Malefics better. Like, I would actually be, other than just because I really like Malefics, like, if Skill Drain was at 3, I wouldn't play this. Like, I really wouldn't play it. I'd just play triple Skill Drain. I'd play probably like the summon limit, or the one that you can't have 2 or more monsters or whatever. I'd place Floodgate Traps with Malefics and just beat down my opponent with Malefics. I play the old style Malefics because Malefics with 3 skill drain is amazing. Like, it's just so good. Your opponent's going to struggle to get over that. It makes it so that Malefics can go first and second, because skill drain is amazing going first Floodgate Trap. But we don't have 3 skill drains, so we can't utilize that aspect of Malefics that we could do in the past. So this is the next best thing. It brings out 2 negates. It does it in archetypal 2 negates. And it's just so good. It's really good engine. I really do enjoy playing this engine from a personal perspective. I think it's really good. While it's live, we can use it. And it just makes Malefics good. Like, if you don't want to play this, find something else. Go for it. I'd love to see what you guys are playing down in the comments below. Tell me what you guys are playing with Malefics down in the comments below. But personally, if I want to take Malefics to a competitive aspect, competitive tournament, anything that's locals or above, essentially, that isn't just for fun, this is the variant that I would play. This is the engine that I would incorporate into the deck. Like, this is just what I would do. To run up the monsters, though, I am playing 3 copies of Despot 003 as well, just to give myself another form of a 1-card summon play. So if my Malefic does brick, if I don't get the Paradox Gear, if I don't get the Malefic Territory and things like that, I've at least got something that I can hopefully draw into, start off with, to play first turn or do whatever. So Despot 003 helps facilitate that. You could play Jet Synchron if you want to. I just think Despot 003 is just as good, because you can go 03, summon 001, go in high fiber. High Fibrax can then summon out your Malefic Parallel Gear, because it is a tuner and a machine. You can then go to a world on it, and so on and so forth. Combo set speaks for itself. That's it for the monsters. Moving on to spells. If you don't want to play this engine, if you really don't want to play this engine, just play hand traps. That's probably the next best thing. If you really don't want to go in for Omni Negate combos, but you want to be able to help go first, second, or just like do all that kind of stuff, hand traps is also another option that you can go with. Moving on to spells, Malefic Territory, like one of the best Malefic cards in the deck. and just for the archetype itself. This card is just so good. It just helps set up so much stuff for malefics. Gets your field spell out, allows your malefic, all your malefics to attack, allows everything else to attack as well. And it's just a great thing to play. Like, you just gotta play it at 3. We play 2 Malefic World just because territory helps get this card out. You don't need to open up multiple copies. You don't need to play terraforming. Like, Malefic Territory, it's just literally Malefic World plus more. It's just great. I am playing 2 copies of Malefic Selector and 1/1 for 1. Malefic Selective, just banish 2 Malefics, cards engraved, search 2 Malefics with different names. Really good card. I don't play 3 of it just because in this variant 3 just gets too bricky. I don't want to see this card too much. I just want to get this. I want to get to this card through World, essentially. I want World to get me to Malefic Selector because that's the perfect time to play Malefic Selector. You'll have the 2 Malefics engraved already, because those 2 cards, those 2 targets would be your Stardust Dragon and your Parallel Gear. So that way you can go into your Paradigm and your Cyber End and then just go for a game there. And then 1/1 helps you get into your Paradox Gear and your Despot 001 if you need to as well. And if you're playing Jet Sync on that as well. 3 Allure of Darkness, we play many darks, so we don't need multiple copies in our hand. And Allure of Darkness helps get to that territory and Paradox Gear. And because we play a lot of searches and we don't want our combos to be stopped or anything like that, 3 Called by the Grave. I played 4 traps. The 1 skill drain, again, as I said, I'd be playing this at 3. Or as many copies as we're legally allowed to use here in TCG if we were allowed. But unfortunately, 1 is all we can have, so 1 is all we can play. And I play 3 more traps to round up the main deck. 2 copies of Malefic Tune and 1 Malefic Claw Stream. Searchable off the field spell. Malefic Tune is just another way to just help dig through our deck to get into our combo pieces, just go for a game. Malefic Claw Stream is a searchable out to anything essentially in the game because it just destroys any card. You just need to have a Malefic monster on the field, which is not difficult because we play tons of them. So that's it for the main deck. Moving on to the extra deck. Extra deck is just where a lot of things change as well. 3 Cyber Ends and 2 Stardust Dragons. I think this ratio works really well, personally. You don't need to have multiple copies. Essentially, you don't need to have 3 of each. Just because your Paradox Gear can facilitate any of them. So if you really wanted to, you could cut down Cyber End to 2 as well. I just think out of the two of Cyber End and Stardust Dragon, who do I want to guarantee a summon all the time? To me, it's Cyber End Dragon, because Cyber End Dragon is a 4K beta that can just essentially punch over everything and get that damage in for me to get the game. Stardust Dragon, yeah, protects the field spell, yeah, it's a level 8 and so on and so forth, but Paradox Gear can just be that target that I don't need to, and I don't need to summon it all the time. It's not the thing I want to be summoning all the time, because 2500 is not going to be exactly going to beat over everything. Cyber End can, so that's why I'm playing this ratio. 2 Paradox Dragon. You're not going to be summoning Paradigm Dragon all the time. The 1 summon should be enough to get that game in for you, but I played a second target just in case. My last synchro, in terms of the Malefic side I'm playing, that is the Draconus Corrupted Never Soul Dragon. I classify this as a pseudo Malefic card just because it's the thing you're going to be playing Malefics, no matter which variant you're going to be playing, because Parallel Gear plus any level 8, any level 10 makes this. No, any level 8 makes this, and it's just another boss monster you can summon that isn't Paradox. For your Omni Negate combos, Warlord Savage, Herald of the Arclight, Mecha Phantom Beast, and Christian Hack Vibrax. If you're playing the Omni Negate combo, you play this. Though there is one thing that I will also show you at the end, so this is going to be a kind of long video because there's another technique of another variant that you can do. It's kind of an Omni-Gate combo, but it just it utilizes a different way of doing it. So if you can't get that Savage Dragon even after Gold Sark, because this was recorded before Gold Sark tin come out, there is another thing that you can do that is budget. That is budget friendly. For the last 3 cards in the extra deck, we're playing 1 Link Rebo, 1 Dreadnought Well Gustav Max, and 1 Titanic Galaxy for another negate plus redirection. Gustav Max for those last minute finished games, and the Link Revo, because we do play level 1s, and if your hand is really that bad, you can at least summon something. They will just get popped. So that's it for the main deck. Moving on, and the deck profile. I'm going to get into the combo now and stop nudging this camera and just making everything hell. So your combo is 1 territory plus 1 paradox gear, and that is literally your combo there. The second combo I will show you is involving Paradigm Dragon as well, and then I'll show you another combo at the end after all of that, which swaps out 2 cards in the main deck, ends on still 2 Omni Negates, but in a different way. So you will see that at the end. So if you open up with these 2 cards, you can perform the Omni Negate combo at the very least, and Paradigm makes that Omni Negate combo stronger. So you'll play your territory. Territory will grab you your field spell, Malefic World. So territory will go here, and then you activate your Malefic World. Now that you have a field spell in play, you can normal summon Paradox Gear, tribute Paradox Gear to grab you 1 parallel gear on the field, and then search yourself a Malefic monster. So you're going to search the Stardust Dragon, and then you're going to summon your parallel gear. You're then going to actually summon the Stardust Dragon from your hand by banishing the original from your extra deck. Now that you have a tuner and a non-tuner, or just a tuner and a monster, you can then link both of those off into your Crystron Hack Vibrax, and then essentially it's combo from there. Hack Vibrax summons you your 001, then you link those off to Wardon. Like you can see where it goes from there. I'm not going to go through the whole thing because you've seen it tens, hundreds of times. Essentially, skipping ahead, your end board will be the Herald, Savage, and then Savage will equip your Wardon. So that would be your end board from just opening up with your territory and Paradox Gear. But if we added Paradigm as well, to just rewind all of that, what we can end on is something just a little bit more. So we can activate Malefic Territory as us world, you summon Paradox, Tribute, summons Gear, add Stardust. You can summon Stardust by banishing the original Stardust, link those off. Crystron summons Despot, fast forward, Savage along with Wardon equipped and Herald. But then from there, so Paradigm Dragon, banishing 1 Malefic monster from your extra while Malefic Paradigm is not in the field. If Malefic World is not in the field, destroy this card once per turn. So above. So we special summon Paradigm by banishing Paradox from my extra deck because it's a Malefic Synchro. You can then use Paradigm Dragon's effect. So with Paradigm's effect, we can send any Malefic from deck to grave. So I'm going to send Malefic Truth Dragon, just because we can then summon it later on if our Malefic does get destroyed. And then we can return Stardust from my extra deck, and then summon that Stardust. So now our field is this. So we have a 4K Malefic Paradigm Dragon, that's just sitting there being strong and powerful. We have a Stardust Dragon, which contributes itself to negate any destruction effect. A Savage Dragon, remove a counter to negate any effect. And held up, we contribute itself to negate any effect. After that, then on your next turn, you can then use your Malefic World, search out your 2 selectors, and a Cyber End if you want to, or a Stardust Dragon, anything you want. And you can go from there and just literally end the game. Very, very strong, very, very powerful, and it just means you have to incorporate the Omni Negate combo in your main deck. It's not too much, very, very good. But if you wanted to go a different route, again, as I was saying before, I can show you that. So if I open up with these 2, I can still end on 2 negates, but I'm playing 2 different cards, 1 different card in my main deck. So you activate your malefic territory. Keep putting it there as a field spell because it looks like a field spell. You add your malefic world, play world, summon, tribute, summon, add, summon, tribute, link off. I mean, summon this. High Fiber summons, link off. Aurodon. Aurodon's going to get you 2 tokens. No, 3 tokens, I mean. Pretty standard, and then summons back 001. Link, tune these 2 into your first herald. And yes, I meant that. First herald. Now we're going to activate Aurodon's effect. Sack these 2 tokens. And instead of summoning out our O-line, we're going to summon this. Mecha Phantom Beast Cult Ring. Cult Ring is a monster, when it's summoned, you get to summon 2 Mecha Phantom Beast tokens to the field. And its level becomes the total levels of things on the field. So when this card is special summoned, special on 2 Mecha Phantom Beast tokens, level 3, so on and so forth. Despot 001 is not once per turn, as far as I can understand. I've read it multiple times. Nothing on this card says once per turn. So it summons itself back. And then you can just tune these 2 off again into a second herald. And then you can pass turn from there. So you still end on 2 negates. You have a cult ring that's just sitting there. You still keep your Aurodon and you have a token. So if you don't want to play the O-line, if you can't get the O-line somehow, if you can't get Savage, this combo is probably I would advise if you can't get Savage, because O-line is relatively cheap. So the O-line is not the problem, and Aurodon is cheap as well. It's just the Savage Dragon. So if you can't get the Savage Dragon, do this combo instead if you still want to play Malefics and still want to keep some form of negation, first turn plays, so on and so forth. It does require you to get the High Fiber. The High Fiber, I believe, last I checked, was about 20-25. So that's still worth it because you can put High Fiber in pretty much anything that you want that facilitates tuners. So it is worth its value. So it's just another thing that you can do. It's just another option. I just think it's really cool, and it uses a different Mecha Phantom. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this. Leave your comments down below what you think of this, what you think of this variant, and so on and so forth. And what you're playing, if you're not playing this variant, what are you playing in your Malefic decks? How do you play your Malefic decks? I'd like to see your thoughts down below as well. And again, I do apologise if this video felt very ranty, if it felt very pushy, that kind of thing. I did not mean it like that, so I do apologise if you do think like that, but don't think it like I meant that, because I didn't. It's just basically, I just wanted to explain in one way that if you want to take a deck that can facilitate something, even though it's highly used, and you've got the resources to do so, try it, see how it feels, play it out, take it to locals, take it at tournaments, see how it goes. If you feel like it makes it better, cool, go for it, stick with it. If you don't feel like it makes it better, if you feel like there's something else, play that as well, share it around, see what other people think, so on and so forth. Try, error, test, play, have fun, all good. We can all then smile and enjoy Malefics or any deck that we like to play in any way, shape or form. So, as always guys, like, comment and subscribe. Till next time guys, as always, happy dueling.